I'm Steve Sweigart. I'm a criminal defense attorney based out of Riverside County, California. When someone calls me about someone under 18, a juvenile, that's a person under 18, that has been charged with a crime in the juvenile court is an interesting situation. To begin, there is no right to bail in a juvenile case. So, if a child is arrested on a case, the judge does not have to let the child out of custody pending the resolution of the case. In Riverside County, California, that happens pretty commonly, and it's pretty traumatic for the family and the child. The other thing about juvenile court is that there is no right to a jury trial in juvenile court. In juvenile court, the judge is the jury. What makes that unique in California law is that the way the juvenile justice system works and operates, in my opinion, juvenile judges are more likely to find a child guilty of an offense. Technically, the judge doesn't find the child guilty of an offense. They sustain the petition that has been filed against the juvenile. It's the same essential purpose. They just use different language. But they're more likely to find the juvenile guilty of an offense because they know, the judge knows, that the juvenile, once they're 18, can have their record expunged and sealed, which is fine when the juvenile is over 18, but when they're going through the system, it can be super traumatic for the family and the juvenile. If a juvenile is charged with a crime in juvenile court, my advice is that you fight it. And you're going to have a lot of institutional resistance to fighting it. The probation department is going to be involved in the case. They come to court every day and they make recommendations to the judge. It's relatively informal in that regard. And it's a little bit unusual because when I'm in adult court with a client, I don't have the probation officer sitting there making recommendations to the judge at every turn in the case. Very rarely do we hear from a probation officer in a case. We hear from them and by them in juvenile court. And frankly, they're not very helpful. They think they know everything. They think they've seen it all. And that's all generalizations. And it rarely applies to my particular client. And so in juvenile court, the critical factor is showing something different about your child that separates them or makes them appear different than all the other juveniles that are in custody or that are going through the system right now. And there's ways that we can go about doing that. And if you'd like to discuss juvenile cases or a juvenile case more, give me a call, 951-777-1111.